dishwasher at the age of 14. Working his way up the ladder, he learned every aspect of the industry, eventually becoming general manager of several restaurants. In 2004, he opened Lime Fresh Mexican Grill on Lincoln Road in South Beach. Well, we all know Lime, right? North Miami Beach. And over the next 7 years, he grew the concept across 14 locations. In 2012, Mr. Kunkel sold Lime to Ruby Tuesday while maintaining his ownership of the original South Beach location. Like many entrepreneurs, having enjoyed success with his first concept, Mr. Kunkel sought out new ventures and opened Yardbird Southern Table and Bar in Miami Beach in October 2012. Based on his Southern upbringing and his grandmother's home cooking, Yardbird quickly garnered critical acclaim and was named a semifinalist for Best New Restaurant and Best New Chef in the South for 2012 by the James Beard Foundation. Following the success of Yardbird, he and his team opened Kong River House, offering authentic flavors of northern Thailand. Like its predecessor, within 90 days of opening, Kong was also named a semifinalist for Best New Restaurant for 2013 by the James Beard Foundation. Not one to rest on his accomplishments, Mr. Kunkel and his growing team, including several Johnson & Wales University alumni and students, recently opened his latest concept to rave reviews, Swine Southern Table and Bar, located in Coral Gables. Recognizing new opportunities to grow his business well beyond the culinary arts, John Kunkel is now applying his unique approach to creating innovative brands within the entertainment and hospitality industries for such famed clients as the Miami Heat, Muhammad Ali, and Tim McGraw under his 50 Eggs Incorporated firm. He can also be found commentating on business and entrepreneurship on CNN, NBC, and Fox News. Please help me welcome Mr. John Howard Kunkel IV as today's commencement speaker.
Good morning. Good morning. Just making sure you guys are still with me. We're about halfway there. Hang in there. So thank you, President Chant, faculty, most of all you, for letting me share this very special day with you and your families. You know, selfishly, I don't think I've ever been in a room with this many college graduates at the beginning of their career, so I had to whisper, "We are hiring." But seriously, there is one person in the room that's already garnered our look, and somebody that we'd love to invite to our team, somebody that you guys might have read about in your latest Johnson & Wales magazine. Her name is Princess. Can you raise your hand? Where are you? There you are. So her story of perseverance so moved us that we would be honored if she would be the first of all of you to join our team, and hopefully she is not the last. So welcome aboard, hopefully. So to be the commencement speaker today is an honor and a privilege that I really couldn't have dreamt of when I began my career, and that's saying something because I can dream pretty big. But I have a confession to make. This is actually as close as I've ever come to a college graduation or graduation of any kind. The truth is, I was never much of a student. I had a hard time in school. Couldn't sit still, didn't want to pay attention. Words like dyslexia, ADD were used. It was a constant struggle for myself and my parents. But when I was interested in something, I would latch onto the subject or the information presented, and it was locked in for good. You know, as I'm telling you this, I'm wondering if President Chant's going to change your mind and maybe want to redo this. That's okay. But anyways, without a strong education, everything was twice as hard for me. I felt like I was always playing catch-up. So the fact that you all sit here today is an amazing starting point, and one that I did not have. However, what I did have was drive, passion, belief in myself, and the ability to dream big. And as it turns out, those things actually count for a lot in business and in life. So just imagine what you can do with this degree. Imagine where it can take you with just some of those things sprinkled in. But don't get me wrong, this is just a chip in the game, a starting point. The rest is up to you, and it will not be easy. I'll say that again, it will not be easy. However, you got here doesn't matter. Whatever your grade point average is doesn't matter, which I'm sure comes as a little bit of a relief to some of you. However, what you do with this degree does matter. And in the words of Calvin Coolidge, the world is full of educated derelicts. So to make sure that you are not one of them, I wanted to share some of my story that doesn't always make some of my press accolades with you today. And hopefully it will inspire you to work hard and to fight for your dreams because they can come true, and I'm standing here as proof of that. I grew up in a very unusual household. My parents were a lot of things, but for the purposes of this story, I'll summarize. My mother is a teacher, an author, and a musician. My father is a former Navy SEAL, commercial pilot, and entrepreneur. And yes, they are that different. As different as they were, they gave me two unique perspectives and two approaches to life. They both allowed me the belief that anything was possible and nothing was out of my reach. My father showed me the world. He took me to business meetings, pushed me to be tough, and trusted me more than I deserved. He showed me toughness and persistence, not because he was a Navy SEAL, but because he got up every morning before the sun came up and worked multiple jobs to provide for our family. My mother constantly reminded me of the importance of character, fairness, kindness, and most of all, respect. And both of my parents had the toughness and will to raise a very strong-willed child who thought he was 21 about at the age of 12. Together, they gave me the building blocks that would help my success. No matter how much I rejected the idea that they had anything to offer as a child, I realize now at 42, they actually knew something that many parents in here can relate with, I'm sure. Something that now my wife and I get to experience as parents of 3, so payback. My very first job was in a restaurant, as you heard President Chant mention. I got a job as a dishwasher about 14, 15 years old. And for the next 15 years, I did. I worked every job within the industry. You name it, I did it. And that helped me really understand the business I was in. And just before my 30th birthday, underfunded, underprepared, naive to what lied ahead, all I had was the belief in myself and the understanding of the industry I was in. I went out on my own. I risked everything, my house, my savings, every penny on every credit card, any money anyone would lend me. Anybody who ever talked to me, I'd ask you for money at that point. I signed a lease that I would never sign in my right mind today with a personal guarantee. My amazing, amazing wife worked so we could eat and keep the lights on, and every penny went into opening that first restaurant. Even though we were both scared to death, we supported each other unconditionally and forged ahead. I went in with the mindset that failure was not an option. I'll say that one again because that's important for you guys. Failure is not an option. I knew I would do whatever it took to be successful, to make that business successful, and nothing was off limits. I would make it happen. I did the construction myself with the help from family and friends when they could. I designed a logo and a name on a napkin at night, designed a menu late at night when I wasn't busy doing other things. I paid a graphic art student to help me with a website and found a woman with a furniture store to help me with the design of that first restaurant. Through some sort of miracle and insane work, I managed to finish the project. But I needed to open strong because I managed to get to the end, but I had no operating capital. You see, I only had enough money for my very first food order. And so we needed to open the door with people outside the business. And so we got ready to do that. We prayed there'd be somebody there. And I managed to get the doors open. And 2 days later, September 11th happened. And as some of you remember, airports shut down. People stayed home. Miami Beach was a ghost town, and I was in trouble. Whatever staff I managed to hire, I had to let go. And it was myself and 2 very loyal, hardworking employees. I worked no less than 90 to 100 hours a week. And when I wasn't cooking or taking care of customers, I was going door to door on the phone to promote the business. And slowly but surely, over the next 6 months, I built a business, day by day, customer by customer, until I had one of the busiest restaurants in Miami Beach. Now, over the last 12 years, I've built almost 20 restaurants and created 5 different concepts and employed thousands of employees and quite a lot of Johnson & Wales graduates and interns. But I'm just getting warmed up. But some of those initial lessons of that first business still ring true. You have to wake up every morning and ask yourself, how bad do you want it? You need to ask yourself, how much are you willing to work for it? Because nothing great comes without great effort. Because it's not just about the hard work. Nothing great has ever been achieved without somebody taking a risk. So no matter what your career path is, business, criminal justice, fashion, hospitality, I challenge you not to be a spectator in life or in business. Do not live your life cautiously. Risk, fight, work hard for all the things that you want because it is possible. Take your degrees and work hard to do something great. And whatever you do, do not be ordinary. I want to leave you today with something I read every day that I go to work that reminds me to never be afraid to take a risk, never be afraid of failure. When I was 8 or 9 years old, I had to choose something to memorize and recite in front of the class. I chose a quote that hung on the wall of my father's office that my mother had given him. Today, that quote is stenciled as large as I could fit it onto my office wall, so everyone who visits has to read it, and hopefully one day you'll put it on yours. It's called The Critic by Theodore Roosevelt, and it goes like this. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again. Because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, and who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Congratulations, class of 2013.
Thank you, Mr. Kunkel, for making this occasion so memorable for our graduates. Now, graduates, I want you to answer Mr. Kunkel's question in true J. Wu fashion. He said, how bad do you want it? And how hard are you willing to work? Answer him. No? You don't want it that bad? Princess? Oh, it's hard. Okay. Thank you. Those are my friends in the back. There you go. That's right. Failure is not an option. Dr. Rice, please join me at the podium to present this year's honorary degree recipient.
President Chant, it is my pleasure to present to you for the conferral of an honorary degree an individual who, by his achievements, has distinguished himself among his peers. We honor him today for his countless contributions to his profession and for his significant contributions to our community. His meritorious career is the result of hard work, diligence, and commitment. As his accomplishments are brought forth today, I hope each graduate is challenged to set their goals such that they will one day be as distinguished. It is my honor to present to you our honorary degree recipient, John Howard Kunkel IV.
John Howard Kunkel, you are a visionary and a driving force in your rapidly expanding professional endeavors. An acclaimed entrepreneur and a believer in providing others with the opportunity to succeed, you recognize that the true power in any business lies in its people, and you never lose sight of that reality. With a driving resolve, you have the distinct reputation of being an innovator who blazes the trail, clears the way, and gets it done at the highest levels with unparalleled success. Highlighting this are the honors and accolades you have garnered, including being named by Business Leaders magazine among the top 50 entrepreneurs for 2012, a finalist for the 2012 Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year, and one of the top 100 social media brands by Nation's Restaurant News. You are a value-centered leader committed to sharing and learning from best practices across multiple disciplines. Active in supporting childhood education and wellness in your community, your benevolent vision of a test kitchen will include community outreach and collaboration with the James Beard Foundation, Johnson & Wales University, and Common Threads, an organization dedicated to teaching low-income children to cook wholesome and healthy meals. Your drive and determination to succeed in everything you take on is surpassed only by your devotion to your family, your wife Allison, and your children Thomas, Lily, and Jack. John Howard Kunkel IV, for epitomizing integrity, leadership, and focus, and for your uncompromising commitment to your profession and your community. Johnson & Wales University is honored to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Business Administration and Entrepreneurship, honoris causa. And so, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University, and under the laws governing higher education in the state of Florida, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Business Administration and Entrepreneurship, honoris causa, with all of the rights and privileges appertaining thereto. You'll get your picture. Congratulations, Dr. Kunkel.